Hello, this is Sarah Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. I was just noticing as I'm looking at myself in the camera in the iPhone that my makeup is looking so crazy. My eye makeup looks fantastic as usual. My face makeup looks all kinds of crazy. Oh well, it's all good. Who cares? So anyway, I wanted to do a video about how, and this is the honest to God truth, the Freedom from Religion Foundation headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin is haunted. It absolutely is haunted. It's the honest to God truth, which would horrify them because they reject any notion of the supernatural. In a way I kind of do too. I mean, I do and I don't. I just think there's so much about the natural universe that we live in that we don't understand. And I think whenever we don't understand some natural aspect of the universe or the multiverse that we live in, we label it supernatural, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. But anyway, so I wanted to do a video about the Freedom from Religion Foundation and its co-presidents, Laurie and Dan Barker. It's a little bit difficult for me. To do this video. I considered them to be like family, and I do feel that they betrayed me. They didn't betray me in the kind of really, truly disgusting and egregious way that the editor of the Humanist magazine of the American Humanist Association, Jennifer Barty, did, where she didn't just throw me under the bus, but actively tried to profit off of the destruction of my life and career by telling disgusting lies about me and by grossly misrepresenting and lying about the essays that I had written for them, that she had edited, that she had published. Yeah, that's a whole other different video. I'll do a whole other different video about that. But so just to give you the backstory, I was an anti-religion advocate. I was at Fordham Law School in New York City. I intended to become a human and civil rights attorney, and I was a staunch secularist. I was a fairly popular essayist in the online atheist, free-thinking, skeptical community, agnostic, secular, humanist community. And I called up, and I had a public service fellowship from Fordham Law School to go and do public service legal work during the summer of 2008. So I called up Laurie of the Freedom from Religion Foundation because I respected their work and I admired their work. And I called her up and I said, I have money. Do you want a free legal intern for the summer? And she was taken aback and I thought maybe I was pulling her leg. But ultimately I convinced her that I was completely serious, that I wanted to come work for them for the summer. And so they let me. And then we had the most amazing experience and wrote a ton of essays that proved extremely popular for their magazine Free Thought Today, and I did a ton of work for them, and I loved it. And I loved them, and I thought it was just wonderful, just a wonderful experience. And I lived for the summer in a co-op house in downtown Madison, and I walked over to the Freedom from Religion Foundation headquarters, which was just a couple blocks away in Madison, Wisconsin, and yeah, it was really wonderful. and they were so proud of me and proud of their affiliation with me. And they used to always say that I'm the reason why. They loved having in-house legal counsel so much that I'm the reason why they developed a legal internship program, and they started getting all of these interns from the UW-Madison Law School. And then also Laurie Gaylor always said that I'm the reason why they have an in-house legal team, and they actually have a pretty substantial in-house legal team now at this point. And actually, when I came back in, well, it would have been the winter, spring of 2010 and then 2011. But when I came back from France, after Jacob, my youngest brother, had committed suicide, and I came back from France, and I wanted only to see my brother Aaron, who was living in northern Minnesota. And then when I got back, I had thought that I was just going to stay in France and make my life there and get my PhD there. But then I came back to the U.S., and then I decided that I wanted to get a PhD in the U.S. on the philosophical foundations of law. But I knew that I really wanted to go to a good school so I could make a real impact. And I also knew that I would have to get a terminal MA first in philosophy in order to be able to get into a really good school like Yale. So I was applying for MA programs in philosophy, and I applied to San Francisco State University, and that's where I ended up going. But I was actually in the upper Midwest during the winter of 2010-2011. And I actually, because I was there, then in the spring of 2011, that was when there were the protests at the Wisconsin State Capitol in Madison. And it was on behalf of the public employee unions, and it was against Scott Walker. And that that had international press, national and international press, and was really, sort of credited with kicking off the 99% movement and also the Arab Spring. And it was the most amazing experience being there. And I took a ton of video and pictures, and I have all of those videos and all of those pictures. And it was just fabulous. It was just fabulous. Hundreds of thousands of people descended on the state capitol, and being there in the middle of all that, and everyone was being so kind and so generous to one another, and so the feeling of camaraderie. But anyway, I digress. I'll do another video on that experience. I should post some of those videos on my YouTube channel. People would like to see them. Anyway, hard to believe that's 9 years ago. But anyway, so during that time, I actually lived with Laurie Gaylor and Dan Barker in their home in Madison, Wisconsin. So the reason why I'm telling you all this is that, no, they didn't actively and explicitly say anything publicly against me. But they didn't stand up for me. They know who I am. They know I would never in a million years engage in racist behavior. I considered them family, and they did not stand up for me publicly. They didn't. And they actually took down some of my pieces and my work from their website. And yeah, it really broke my heart. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. So anyway, that's a hard thing to talk about. Anyway, so in the summer of 2008, and there was a friend of Laurie's who was staying with them, and she was visiting, volunteering at the FFRF, Freedom from Religion Foundation, headquarters in Madison. And she was kind of new agey, and I think she kind of liked throwing a wrench into things and being the contrarian and playing devil's advocate. Anyway, we were all sitting around. Annie, Laurie, and Gaylor weren't there, and it was kind of an instance of when the cat's away, the mice will play. And so all of us volunteers, and there weren't that many of us then, it was a smaller outfit then, quite a bit smaller, and we were sitting at the table working on something, a lot of us, little bit like a knitting circle, and but I can't remember exactly what we were working on, but we were working on some kind of project. And so we were sitting at the table, and Annie, Laurie, and Dan weren't there, and it was just us volunteers, and we started telling ghost stories. And it was just so funny because it just seemed so risque that we were at the Freedom from Religion Foundation and we were telling ghost stories. It was so funny. So we were all telling ghost stories, and we were just having fun, and we were just laughing. And I have some ghost stories. I have some paranormal experiences. I'll do a different video about that, which is one of the reasons why I'm returning to religion. Actually, I've had a lot of really profound experiences in my life, spiritual experiences in my life, but I'll do a different video about that. But anyway, I don't want this to get too long. So we were doing whatever we were doing, and I went upstairs to the second floor, and I went to the office I was using, and I sat down, and I was working on whatever I was working on. And then I felt someone standing. I couldn't see them, but I felt someone standing next to me at the desk. Oh, and we had been talking about how the building that the Freedom from Religion Foundation is housed in Madison, Wisconsin, is, I guess it used to be a hospital? I think. I think it used to be a hospital, that's right. So we were talking about how we were wondering if it was haunted and if there were any ghosts there. So I went up to my office, and I was sitting and working, and I felt someone standing next to me. Like I knew someone was standing next to me. And then all of a sudden, I felt someone like touch my forearm that was like resting on the desk and like stroking it. Like not in a bad way at all, just kind of like in a, hi, I'm here way. I want to let you know I'm here. And because we had just been talking about that, we had just been wondering if there were any ghosts there. And so literally, I'm not even joking. It was like there was a perfect rectangular patch of arm hair that stood straight up. But it wasn't just like all of the hairs on my arm stood straight up. It wasn't like that. It was like in the shape of a perfect, like I drew it during my drafting class as part of my aerospace engineering degree at the University of Minnesota. Rectangle. It was the craziest thing. It was so crazy. And I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel threatened at all. It really felt like the person was saying, I'm here. You're right. I'm here. There's someone here. There's someone here. You're right. There's someone here. And it was like they just wanted to say hi. So that's it. I think I'll wrap it up, but I have a lot of other like ghost stories and stuff, but I'll do another video about that. But also, I mean, I absolutely believe that I'm in constant communication with my beautiful red-haired guardian angel brothers, Aaron and Jacob, and they visit me in my dreams, and they hold my hands when I ask them to, and they give me all my best philosophical ideas, and they tell me what to do for my work. And when I had gone, after Jacob killed himself when I was in Paris, France, I had gone to a witch doctor, and she told me that that's why Jacob left this world, so that he could help me do the work that I needed to do. And it's true. It's true. I always credit them too in everything I write, if I can. All right. I love you all so much. I'll have a bunch of links below. PayPal me, GoFundMe. Please donate to my legal fund. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please watch my videos, read my blog posts. Please support me. We are going to get through this moment of cultural insanity together. I love you all so much. Okay, have a great night.